CNN entertainment correspondent Elizabeth Wagmeister is here with more on her exclusive reporting. Elizabeth, tell us what you're learning.
We have learned from two sources that potential witnesses have been contacted and notified by federal investigators that they may be called to testify.
Former celebrity Adria English claimed in a complaint filed yesterday that she was coerced into a trafficking cycle she did not want to be a part of because defendant Combs knew he could groom her.
We drink, I felt so because I was paid as a stripper at Lyrical. I know what it takes to be drunk. I felt way more.
Shah was once on a fast track to become a millionaire, but as the accusations against him grow, business partners have abandoned him, his brands are losing value, and the worst may yet be to come.
Diddy doc to Netflix after bidding wars. Hey, I'm gonna put it like this, I'm gonna watch it. I think it's something that we all should watch, you know? And look, it's something that there are reasons why the industry is so quiet right now.
CNN's broadcast of video featuring Sean Diddy Combs has landed him in significant legal jeopardy once more, resulting in additional litigation and disclosures of his illicit actions. Even his most devoted fans find it difficult to defend him in light of the startling new information. Adria English, an adult film star, recently filed a lawsuit against Diddy, alleging that she was forced into performing sexual acts with partygoers after being hired for his Labor Day celebrations beginning in 2004. She claims that although alcohol and drugs have clouded her recollections, the trauma she experienced is still very real. April Lamprose filed a complaint against Diddy alleging violence in May. She alleges that after Diddy coerced her into multiple unwelcome sexual meetings over the years, he broke his 1994 pledge to mentor her. Lamprose claims that forced oral sex and sexual actions with Diddy's ex-girlfriend were among the events. She adds that she then discovered a video of her with Diddy that had been shot without her permission. Diddy was sued by Crystal McKenna as well, claiming that after promising to advance her career, he had attacked her in a studio. She alleges that he shunned her from the modeling world, which caused her to experience sadness and consider suicide. Rodney Jones Jr. filed a lawsuit against Diddy and his group, alleging Diddy coerced him into handling drugs and recruiting workers by threatening to use violence against him if he disobeyed. A December 2023 Jane Doe lawsuit claims that Harve Pierre, the former president of Bad Boy Records, and Diddy trafficked and physically abused the 17-year-old. She claims that after Diddy talked her into taking a plane to New York, she was drugged and raped. Leah Gardner sued R&B artist Aaron Hall and Diddy, saying the two coerced her into having sex when she was 16. She claims that Diddy threatened her at home after pressuring her at an after-party. In November 2023, Joy Dickerson-Neal filed a lawsuit alleging that during a dinner date in 1991, Diddy drugged and physically abused her, recording the incident. She claims that the event resulted in a hospital stay and acute despair.
I think the music industry is one of the most corrupt industries on the planet. And I know somebody personally, and I'm not even going to go into details, that did one of the biggest hits of Biggie's career. And he told me when he sent the beat to Puffy, he just stole it from him. So just from the amount, how you doing business, you cannot do business that way and expect for you to continue to be successful, because eventually it will come back. So we always heard about, you know, from that standpoint of view, just doing people dirty, you know, just sneaking people for money, and every evil thing you can think of, they just, you know what I mean? So that's sad, because when you come from our background and we get into the music industry, for example, and they start becoming these CEOs, the first thing they start talking about, man, we're gonna do our own record company because we tired of the white man stealing from us. You know what I mean? And then you get these black CEOs, they come do the same exact thing to black artists. Yeah, so you keep seeing that cycle where you like, that's why the music industry, I always say, is one of the most corrupt industries on the planet, because, you know, everybody's out for themselves. You know what I mean? Everybody's out for themselves. So the same thing they complain that the white, you know, CEOs are doing, the black CEOs do it to the same thing to the artists. You know?
So when you see the situation that Diddy in right now, right, you're not surprised?
It doesn't surprise me, yeah, it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, we just always heard he was cutthroat. I'm surprised he survived that long. I used to say, well, you know, he you know, he probably rubbing shoulders with the people, those, you know, I don't get into that conspiracy, Illuminati and stuff like that where people start saying it, but I definitely believe that is in the music industry, there's some higher people that's very corrupt and evil. And I remember when we first, and I didn't really understand it, but when we first, like the time that I first met Pac, we was in a group called Dramaticidal. We went from being Young Thugs to Dramaticidal, then we became the Outlaws. And I remember when Pac was locked up, and we would go visit him, and he was telling us that, because when we were Dramaticidal before the Outlaws, we had a quick record deal with Interscope Records. And I remember when Pac used to say stuff, he was like, I swear to God, he used to say, you know, you're gonna go meet this person at Interscope, and you know, they devils. I didn't really understand what he meant by that. He's like, but you know, you gotta play it right, and you know, they gonna give us a record deal, but they just straight devils, you know what I mean? So, and now I understand. These people cutthroat, you know what I mean? You don't see no CEOs. If you look at any rap record, the CEOs from these rap records, they not part of our community. Meaning that they come from a different background than us. Most of them are ran by certain individuals. And what happened is they never give back to the community. You never heard of the CEO of Interscope Records, the CEO of Sony Records. These people making billions of dollars off of black music. You never heard them once say, let's open up a school in the black community. Let's give healthcare to the rappers. Let's go open up community centers for the black people. But they taking all this money. You understand? When an individual died, have you ever heard of a record company that paid for a funeral of a dead rapper? Besides Suge Knight, Suge paid, you know, when Pac put it in his will, he wanted to cremate it. Suge paid $1 million to cremate him. But these people, so now when I think back and when Pac was calling them devils, it's like these people are really devils. They just out for money. They don't care who die in the process. They don't care what happens in the process. They don't care who lives are destroyed, as long as that money coming in.
Yeah, that's real talk, man. But for me, right, when I look at the situation, I look at it like karma. You know, he finally getting everything back that he got away with from back then, and you know. Arrogance,
you gotta humble yourself. You know what I mean? You gotta understand, like, you can't carry yourself with that arrogance as if you're untouchable, because the creator of the heavens and the earth can destroy you 1 second. And maybe he's saying that now. Sometimes people be thinking they're untouchable because they get away with certain things so much, and they get careless and they get arrogant. And I think that's what he's going through.
If you believe that Diddy's scandals are new, you're completely incorrect. It turns out that there was significant trafficking occurring behind the scenes at even his well-known events. This is not a recent scandal. Rather, it's a long-standing problem that has been going on for years.
Diddy has always been known for his big white parties where a bunch of celebrities show out. But now we're learning the truth about what happened at these disturbing parties. An adult star has come forward and claimed that they were trafficked at one of Diddy's parties. Diddy has been under a federal investigation for human trafficking, so this isn't a great look for him. It's like another one to add to the list. In a lawsuit filed in New York, a former adult film star, Adria English, claimed that the rapper and CEO of Bad Boy Entertainment forced her into prostitution and work with guests at his annual white party. So at these parties, I guess he would force these people, like Adria English, to go and hook up with these celebrities. Now, Adria claims this happened between the years 2006 through 2009 and happened both in the Hamptons and in Miami. She was, quote, made to engage in illicit narcotics and alcohol use while employed by Diddy.
In a lawsuit filed yesterday, former star Adria English claims she was trapped in a cycle of trafficking she never asked to be a part of because defendant Combs knew he could groom her.
There's absolutely no reason any boss should be forcing any employee to do any substances, let alone, hiring someone to then force them to sleep with people. That's just so icky and gross, and I'm glad that this woman's coming forward. We've heard of this cycle before when talking about Diddy. These people who are promised careers, modeling gigs, music record labels, and they aren't given anything. They're given these false promises, and when they don't deliver, then Diddy blacklists them. Adria claims that she first met the disgraced rapper in 2004 after her then boyfriend auditioned for a Sean John modeling gig. Adria claimed that her partner and another model were asked to perform orally on Diddy in order to get the job, which they allegedly refused. So it looks like Adria's boyfriend was told, hey, if you want to get this modeling gig with Diddy, you gotta sunk them all. Despite their alleged refusal, Adria claimed that her partner was given a second chance if she agreed to work as a go-go dancer at one of Diddy's white parties. And she showed up and she did her job. I mean, here she is at the white party in the Hamptons back in 2004. So we got some proof that she was in fact there. Here's a clip of Adria explaining how she got involved with Diddy.
Long story short, my ex, Anthony Gallo, goes in the room and he comes out yelling, fuck that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I'll talk to you in the elevator. We get to the elevator. He's like, try to ask me to suck his dick. I said, who asked you to suck his dick? He said, Diddy. I said, fuck that. But then after that, he booked him anyway because I agreed to dance at the white party.
Major red flags. I mean, of course her boyfriend was appalled by the idea, but then she kind of sacrificed herself so that he could get that job. Now, in the legal documents, Adria explains that when she first started working for Diddy, there was, quote, no sinister intent or requirements for physical contact, and it seemed to be a legitimate employment opportunity. So when she was invited to come back the following year to work again, she accepted it. It was easy money, she was at the white party, tons of celebrities, she didn't have to do anything icky yet. However, she says around the third party she worked that Diddy demanded that she begin engaging in intercourse with guests, as they had learned about her past in the entertainment industry and used it against her. She goes on to state that her memories of some of the details are hazy due to the fact that she was expected to consume copious amounts of alcohol and illicit narcotics. However, the documents add that the encounters that she was forced to endure were so excruciating that Adria remembers them as they still haunt her to this day, which that is horrific. That's PTSD, that's trauma, that is also a survivor coming forward and standing up for herself.
You and Diddy, what was the situation between both of y'all? Because I know he made some comments to you that you wasn't fond of, right?
He tried to play me, okay? This is when I knew he was out of his mind, like, you know what I mean? Basically, to make a long story short, I was messing with this chick, just started messing with her, you know what I mean? Knocked her down a couple times, a model chick, you know what I mean? At the time, I remember she was sharing an apartment with a famous actor's mother, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. Now, she's not my girl or nothing like that, you know what I mean? I probably had a girl at the time, you understand? Let's keep it real. But I knocked her down a couple times. And so now we're out in LA. We're at the Palladium. Big party, mad people's there, all these celebrities is there, people are performing, you know what I mean? Mad LA people is there, mad people from New York is there. This was like the super party. Like it was a very good party. So I'm in there, and then I see Shorty in there. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? So I'm like, if all else fails, I have some imported here in the party. You know what I mean? And because back then, are always looking for something new. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're always looking for something new. So, even though she was there, I'm still hunting. But I'm thinking, I got her on deck. So I don't think nothing of it. Then, your man Puff comes up to me. And he's like, yo, Playboy. First of all, I don't like all this Playboy shit. Like, I don't know, you know what I mean? He calls a lot of people Playboy. Like, yo, Playboy. Yo, I told homegirl to go with you tonight. That's what he says to me. He said, I told her to go with you tonight. So right now, he's trying to let me know that he with the too. You know what I mean? He with the broad too. I don't want to call her. He the broad too. B, he's trying to act like he has more power over her than me, right? Because by saying, I told her to go with you. is like saying, like, if you wanted her to go with you and I said no, she'd go with me. You know what I mean? And so I'm just kind of looking at this like, he really lost his mind. You know what I mean? Like, because in my mind, I'm the king of broads at this time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm the king of broads at this time. And I had been the king of broads before being famous. You understand what I'm saying? So, and I knew this guy from Mount Vernon, and he was not the king of broads coming up. So for him to talk to me like this is just mind-boggling to me. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, he's really feeling himself. Like, he's really thinking, you know, this whole, because I don't even know if he was bad boy Puffy yet. He might have still been like MCA Puffy, like, you know what I mean? And I was like, yo, he's wildin'. And so I was just kind of like looking at him crazy, and I don't know what I said. I feel like I might have just been like, yeah, all right, whatever. And then I just walked away from him, and I just left the broad in there. I didn't, like, I'm gonna be, oh yeah, Puffy said you can come with me. I was like, this broad. You know what I mean? Bag me something else, and I never spoke to the broad again. You know what I mean? But right at that moment, and then upon reflection, it makes me think about some of the things you read in these depositions and all of that, about somebody that feels like they're controlling and all of that. You see, he thought he had control over the broad, more control over me. And it's like, listen, if I wanted to put my meat hooks in the broad, I could have did that, but I didn't even want to do that. Like, but I just feel like he tried to flex on me, you know what I mean? And it was like, please, like, cut it out, you know what I mean? But to me, that was the mark of, in my mind, of, yeah, this was the beginning of when he started going crazy. You see what I'm saying? When he first approached me like that, oh yeah, you was losing your f***ing mind. You was losing your f***ing mind. And on another note, I thought about this later when we're hearing all this, you know, by shit. He could have been trying to set up a play where he thought we was gonna have something in common. Like, yo, I told her to go with you. And then he see me another time, yo, you had fun that night, Playboy? Yo, we should come to my crib. And we'll run a train order or something like that. See what I'm saying? That's how. Come on, man. You see? And now a real goof ass, Puffy invited me to the mansion to run a train on a girl. Like, you think I'm stupid? Like, so that's what I'm thinking. Could have been a, you know what I mean? Motivation too. Like, maybe he didn't think he was playing me. Maybe he thought he was planting the seed for us to have this broad in common. I don't know, but I felt like he was trying to play me. You know what I mean? And either way, he was trying to play me. You know what I mean? So I wasn't feeling that, and got out of here.
You think he wanted them dudes that only got females because he started to get money?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, I don't remember seeing him with a bunch of broads back in Mount Vernon high school days and all that. You know what I mean? The first bad broad I seen him with was Misa, and I was kind of like, damn, how he get her? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't even really understand how he got her, like, you know? Because Misa was definitely bad back in the days, in Mount Vernon and like that. But prior to that, he was just one of those that danced in the parties, like, you know what I mean? Like, he was just a dancing, like, you know what I mean? Like, with these bushy eyebrows, I think they connected at the time, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, he wasn't a live nigga, like, put it that way.
Things appear to be about to get quite interesting. Guess who recently acquired the rights to this show? 50 Cent revealed that he has been working on a documentary series that will further expose Diddy's alleged crimes.